I'm on one of my familiar permissions today. It's the first trip here this year. I never really have a bad day here, to be honest. There is a pigeon just feeding on the grass here, so I'm gonna laze it. It's pretty unaware of me because it's used to seeing cars going up and down this little private drive here. It's at 37 yards.
I'm still not entirely sure what happened with this pigeon, but both shots I had on him were fluffed. I wanted to include them just to give you an honest perspective of what does happen sometimes. So I went for heart and lung, but it just didn't happen. I ended up winging him. So I cocked the rifle for a follow-up shot and did a very similar thing. I didn't really have much of a choice there. I had to take the shot when I did, otherwise it would have gone to cover.
So I think I've wounded him. I'm just going to go now and catch him and neck him. I've just run out, caught that pigeon and put it out of its misery. That really wasn't a very good shot. I wanted to go for the heart and lung and I ended up winging him twice. So yeah, not really sure what went on there. Maybe I got my aim point a little bit wrong. Not entirely sure, but here it is. We did get him in the end, thankfully. I didn't want him wandering around wounded.
This squirrel was really close. I just stumbled upon him. I turned the illuminated reticle on the Hawke Sidewinder. I was shooting into quite a dark setting. Put the pellet exactly where it needs to go. He's just hanging on there from nerves. You can hear the peacock in the background.
I just had a really nice squirrel. Close range, probably about 15 yards. I didn't laze it. I got my parallax at about 12 yards, so yeah, really close. He couldn't quite see me. There was a branch in the way between me and his eye, but I could still get a pellet in just under its ear, which is exactly where you want to put one. So yeah, really happy with that. Oh, big male. My gun today is the Ratworks Tuned HW100, as it usually is. On top I've got the Hawke Sidewinder 30, 4.5 to 14 by 44. On the back I've got the Eagle Vision scope cam, and the scope's held on with none other than SportsMatch mounts. Pretty much the best hunting rifle combo I've ever used. I was just watching the lambs and the squirrels come out down at the bottom of this field. 55 yards, so that's about 2 mil dots hold over. At least I can use this fence as a rest.
So I've got a nice steady rest. There's no wind, so I'm quite happy taking a shot at this range. I know that I need to give him a couple of mil dots hold over. He presents me with a lovely shot here. And he just falls behind that log.
Now that was a stonker. Didn't really have time to completely focus the scope so that it was perfect, because he was a bit jittery and moving around quite a bit, so I just got a rough focus on so it looked clear for me. Might not be so good on the GoPro. And yeah, knocked him straight off there, 55 yards. Beauty. I kind of feel like I've made up for that pigeon now with 2 nice shots on the squirrels. With squirrels, I find you've kind of got to go for the headshot. They're pretty tough creatures, so heart and lung shots I find don't really tend to do the job.
I've spotted another squirrel, again not particularly far away, just sat on a bough of this tree. I managed to get to a nice steady rest just to make my job a bit easier. I don't want to take any unnecessary risks. And I take him with a headshot. Now here I'm not entirely sure that he's completely dead, I don't know why, so I'll just cock the gun and put another one in him just to be 100% sure. I don't want to cause any suffering.
Wow, another really nice squirrel there. That was about 20 yards, I just aimed bang on. He dropped exactly where he was, but I didn't know whether he was completely dead or not, so I just cocked the gun and put another one into him just for a bit of insurance.
Sorry it's a bit blurry, but you can see the pellet connected well and did what it needed to.
Just had quite a long range crow. Good crow there. Not entirely sure on the range, I didn't laser, I guessed it to be about 55 yards. Gave it a couple of mil dots holdover and dropped him really nice and clean. Just spotted a magpie up in the top of a tree. I thought it was a jay at first, but I'm just going to walk down through these woods and see if I can find a clear shot through all the branches.
It's quite a hard one this, freestanding pretty much. My back rested against a tree, but I managed to squeeze the trigger off at the right time.
Now that was a nice shot. I went for the headshot, had to give it a bit of holdover. Pellet smacked him real hard and he hung there in the tree for a few seconds before falling to the ground. I can see him down there on the little carpet of beech leaves. Spotted a squirrel up in the oak tree there. Apologies for the noises, but I'm going to try and get a little bit closer to him. Well, he was lit up perfectly in the sun, looking straight at me, and dropped him with a headshot. Perfect headshot.
I've spotted a magpie just on my walk back. There's a little bit of a range trap, I'm not entirely sure how far away it is, so I just get my laser out just so I've got the peace of mind and I know exactly how far. So I did have a little bit of a wobble on this shot, but I put the pellet right into the heart and lung.
Well, nice magpie there at 37 yards. I was just coming back thinking about starting to pack up, and that magpie was just sat there on the edge of that tree. Can't believe he sat there long enough for me to get a shot off. We've had a really successful day today. 5 squirrels, a pigeon, a couple of magpies and a crow. Some days it just comes together. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please give it a like and subscribe. Cheers.